Hey boys, welcome back to some more NRL Supercoach 2021 preseason discussions. We've gone through the forwards, the dummy halves, back row, front row. Now we're going to have a look at the halves. So we'll start out with the halfbacks. I was going to do them separately, but honestly, there are quite a few differences for the position. So we'll do the halfback in the 5'8" separate. So the halfbacks first and foremost here. So Nathan Cleary, the top echelon here, 734,000, big money. And I can't fault someone for going Cleary. At the moment, I'm not. At the moment, I'm more looking at Mitchell Moses, which he's actually, dude. I didn't really realize how poorly he went at the end of the season, because he was up near the top for a good chunk of the season. He was killing it, scoring well, kicking goals. But I guess the Parramatta Eels just in general, didn't have a great end of the season, I guess. Mitchell Moses just didn't really score that well, and he's dipped now 480k. Like, that is very, very cheap for what he got to him. What did he would have started deal last year as well. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards going Moses over Cleary. I know there's definitely a temptation here as well to go two gun halfbacks, Cleary and potentially Moses, or Moses and someone else. Shaun Johnson. I would love to go Shaun Johnson, but obviously coming off that Achilles injury, I think I'm actually not too sure. I feel like he's expected to play in round 1. Is he? I can't actually remember, but there's obviously a little bit of hesitation, I would say, to go Johnson. He's still scoring well. Like, I'm pretty sure I had Johnson basically the whole of last year, and he did extremely well. I mean, he scored great. Average close to 70. He was one of the standouts again. Even with, he's been a different player than his Warriors days. Like, he's had a few injuries. The pace is not quite what he used to be. He's still quick. He's still good when he runs the footy, but he doesn't do quite as much. He's more of a ball player. And, his try assists have been, through the roof compared to what he used to. So he's still a good pickup, but I just think with that injury, and coupling with the other injuries he's had with his hamstrings in the past, to throw in an Achilles injury this time of his career, it's a tough injury to come back from, especially for a guy like Johnson, who relies on that explosive power off the mark and his footwork. I still think he can score very well, toning his game back even more from a running game and more of a playmaking type game and the goal kicking. But I just can't go him at the start of this year, unfortunately. Cherry Evans is very interesting, so I'm not sure. It'll be. I actually, Cherry Evans and Moses. It's a tough and go. Honestly, it depends how the Seagulls line up. If Reuben Garrick gets a spot in that team, then I probably wouldn't go Cherry Evans, because Garrick would kick goals. If Garrick isn't there, then Cherry Evans you would expect kick goals, and I would be very, very tempted to go Cherry Evans as my starting halfback. But it depends. I don't know. Depends. If Garrick is there, then Cherry Evans I would probably not go with, just because he still scores. I mean, he went pretty well, but I always have a little bit of an issue going with a half who doesn't kick goals. But if Garrick is not there, then I'd be very, very keen to get Cherry Evans into the side. And then Jerome Hughes, while scores well, I wouldn't really go. Just, again, he doesn't kick goals. He has good base stats, like he runs the footy a lot, he's a good defender, but I just wouldn't really go into calculations. Adam Reynolds, again, I mean, he averaged 60, but he's never really been one of the top super coaches. Luke Keary, I mean, he can go on these incredible runs, but I don't know. The concussion's always an issue. He played 18 games, so he didn't miss many last year. But yeah, he's always a tricky one. Luke Keary, Kyle Flanagan wouldn't really go near either. Again, he averaged well in 2020, but I would like to see how the Dogs go. I'm not convinced. And then you go down. I mean, George Williams had a good year last year. He obviously made some good cash, but I wouldn't expect much more than 50s from Williams. Nikorima, Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt is a sneaky pod, honestly, because I would expect him to play dummy half like for the whole year, and excuse me, I think that's a pretty safe like half. Like a lot of times the halves, probably other than Cleary, can be a little bit hit or miss at times. But Ben Hunt, if he's playing big minutes of dummy half, like he's always going to have those good base stats, and you know he's got the game for a good attacking dummy half as well. So I'd be pretty tempted by Ben Hunt if he does end up getting that dummy half spot, because I personally think, I know Andrew Johns keeps saying that Ben Hunt should be a club halfback in a rep dummy half. I personally think Ben Hunt should just be a dummy half. I think his game just suits dummy half better. I don't think he controls the team very well at halfback. I think putting him at dummy half, letting him ball play from dummy half, he can kick from dummy half. He's quick. I think it suits him, and I would love to. I'd love to pick him up. So, yeah, that's definitely one I'm gonna pencil in, depending on team news. McInnes, I would expect to just stay at lock, and then we'll see who they have on the bench, because Ben Hunt should be able to play 80 minutes, and yeah, that'd be a pretty good pickup. That'd be a decent little pod for sure. Then going down, nothing stands out. Michael Morgan, again, he only played the 6 games. I really hope Morgan can come back and have a nice injury unaffected year. The Cowboys need him to come back into form, and I mean, 380k, if Morgan starts the year well, he could be a sneaky little pickup to make some good cash. And then, we got some other guys that are decent. I mean, Billy Walters, looks like he's signing with the Broncos, which should be a very good pickup for the Bronx. I mean, the Tigers haven't really been using him other than injury, so he's a good player, Billy Walters. Matt Burton, he's not really going to get game time, so not too much to worry about there with Burton. Then going down at the cheapies, I mean, Trindwall, good young player coming through, but again, he's probably not going to get the minutes. Connor Tracy, he's got a very good Supercoach game, but again, he's probably more going to be that utility off the bench if he gets game time. Who else have we got? No one else. I mean, Jaden Sullivan's probably the one half cheapie that everybody's going to go, because it looks like he's going to get one of those. He's going to get one of the starting half spot. It'll be interesting to see how the Dragons do line up. He's obviously a good young talent. He played the one game. He scored 58 points. Not much to go on though, so I wouldn't expect 50s every week from a youngster. But he's been highly regarded at the Dragons for a while now, and if he gets that starting spot, he's pretty much a certainty for me. I'm not really one to go with 2 gun halves. I would rather go with 1 gun half and then another guy that's going to make money, but I can definitely see the benefit of going like a Cleary and another gun halfback, because they can score well. I just feel like, I don't know, in my opinion, I'd rather spend the money on 2 gun fullbacks, or, well, I would definitely get 2 gun fullbacks, and then I would rather spend the money on another gun back rower. They're probably going to be a safer 60-70, whereas a halfback, on a good day, they're going to score 70-80. So, I don't know. That's sort of how I sort of look at it. And then any other youngsters we can see here. Sam Walker. So Sam Walker is the other guy that a lot of people are probably going to have just as a genuine cheapie. He's obviously very highly regarded. Young Queensland halfback coming through. Is he gonna get games at the Roosters? I mean, he might. Like, the Roosters actually don't have like a genuine half at the moment. Like, at the moment it's got Keary and Lachlan Lamb. I mean, Lamb, I actually really like Lachlan Lamb. I think he's a gun, but I don't know if he's a genuine halfback at NRL level. So it'll be interesting to see if the Roosters don't start well. Sam Walker, I think, could definitely come into that team. But yeah, it's a wait and see on Sam Walker. I don't think you really need to go him at the start. I think there's probably better, cheaper options, mainly Jane Sullivan. But yeah, that's the halfbacks done and dusted. Some decent options. At the moment, I'm going Mitchell Moses and Jaden Sullivan. Mitchell Moses, he's actually, I was gonna say he's burned me before, but honestly, I've started with Moses the last couple of years, and he's gone really well at the start. So I expect him to do well at the start again. So I think he's a good pickup, but I'm also, I'm very keen on Cherry Evans. If he's got the goal kicking, it'd be tough not to go Cherry Evans, because with Tommy Trbojevic back into that Manly side, they're just, they're like 2 or 3 tries better than without him. So that means more goal kicks with Cherry Evans. It means more try assists, line break assists. There's a lot to like with DCE. With Turbo back in the side and running. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach videos. Let me know in the comments section who you're going with your halfback options. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.